Hey y'all, welcome back to Sasser House. In this video today, I'm going to take you guys along on this furniture flip. I took this old dated coffee table and I turned it into this. I absolutely love the way that this furniture flip turned out, but I will have to say it was not as easy as it looks. I ended up running into all kinds of problems with this piece, but I want to take you guys along and show you exactly how I flipped this. So it all started at my local thrift shop here in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I love this thrift store. It always has cheap stuff. So I was shopping there and I found this coffee table. It was a little bit dated, but it was only $25, and I haven't done a coffee table in a while, so I decided I would go for this one. First thing I did when I got it home was sanded down the entire top. So my plan originally was to sand this top down and then stain it a similar color and end up painting the bottom, just because I thought that would be a really easy, quick flip. And so I sanded down the entire top, and then I went ahead and blew off the dust and cleaned the entire piece really good, which I usually wait till after I do the sanding. That way, if it gets all dusty, I'm going to clean it off after the fact. So that's a little tip. A lot of people clean the piece first, but then they'll do the sanding and it will get dirty again. So like I said, I planned to just stain this, so I got my Minwax stain and went ahead and wiped it all on with a rag. So everything was going nice and smooth. But here's where the problem comes in. I didn't realize until after I stained it that there was all these really deep scratches still in there. So I got my orbital sander back out, sanded those deep scratches down as good as I could, but here was the problem. This top was actually like a piece of plywood or some kind of pressed wood. And so even after sanding all of the deep scratches out, it ended up looking like this, and I'm not sure if you can see it in this video, but it was not going to take stain and not going to be pretty. So let's go ahead and just forget about the top and let's just focus on the bottom until we come up with a plan. So I got my Zinsser's primer out and went ahead and primed the entire piece. So I just use an old throwaway brush and brush on all of this primer all the way around, getting it in all of the details. And this is just a prime coat, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't even always roll the primer on, and I also don't always spray it, just because it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, you can always sand down any runs or any imperfections because it's just the primer. So the next step, after it got all dry, I went ahead and used this old green paint that I had laying around. And I want to tell you guys, this green paint, for example, on my furniture flips, my paint cost literally almost nothing. I got this as an oops paint from the Home Depot section for only $9 for the entire gallon. We painted an entire pallet wall in our house, and this is the third project I've done with this green paint. So if you break it all down per project, it's literally costing me like maybe $2 for paint. So overall, I always go with a paint that I have in stock instead of choosing a custom color, just because that saves a lot of money and increases your profitability on these furniture flips. And now it was time for that top again. I didn't know exactly what to do, so I searched YouTube for all different options, and I landed on this idea that I had never tried before. It's a faux wood finish, or a lot of YouTube channels call it a Pottery Barn dupe finish, but it was my first time ever trying this. The first step is to paint everything with this creamy tan color. Then I took a thick bristled brush, a broomstick, and this glaze. You want to put the glaze on pretty heavily, and then you basically take that thick bristled brush and the broom head, and you end up going back and forth over it until it gives it a nice wood look. You're almost trying to recreate like the wood grain look on a piece of wood, and when you look at this up close, it actually does look like wood grain. And so it was a little bit of working back and forth and keep on messing with it until it finally looks exactly how you want it. And I got better at this the more that I did it, and I've even done a piece since then that looks even better. So this is kind of just an art that you just work with and get better and better at it every time you do it. But overall, it turned out great. So after the top was done, it was time to go ahead and paint a second coat on everything with that green color. So I got my brush back out and went ahead and painted a second coat of the green paint on the entire coffee table. Last but not least is this polyurethane by Varathane. I use the triple thick version as my sealer, and this step is really important because your polyurethane or your sealing coat is actually going to help it from scratching or the paint from chipping just from use over the years. I've been using this stuff for years on furniture flips and even pieces that we've used in our own home. And I promise you, if you use this stuff, your furniture will not chip, the paint won't be chipped. And we've had furniture in our house for like 2 or 3 years now with very little to no paint chipping or peeling. And so this is a really important step. It also makes everything nice and smooth and professional finish. So last, I took the piece inside, put the drawers back in, and I actually decided to go with some new knobs. So I loved the way that these knobs look. I found them at TJ Maxx, and they were only $7.99 for 6 of them. They were almost a broken glass type of look on them, but they were very modern, and I thought this would be a nice addition to this piece. So I went ahead and added these new knobs onto the dresser, and then it was time to get it ready for staging, for pictures, to get it posted for sale. So I just got a few different decor pieces around the house, some books, a little basket, a plant, and then we're all finished. I absolutely love the way that this furniture flip turned out. So let's recap. I got this coffee table for only $25, and I ended up selling this for $350. I think that this was a total success, even though the wood top was absolutely a nightmare and I didn't know what to do. I tried something new and gave it this faux wood finish, and I think that it turned out great. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one.